All right, so we got pop star Chloe Bailey. Um, I only know her from her Instagram pics. Uh, in posting, showing off her body. Apparently, she's an artist. I wouldn't know. I just know her mostly for, talks about body positivity and thickness and who she's dating. That's what I know her mostly
You
for.
said thickness.
Uh, yeah, yeah. Uh,
uh,
and speaking of dating, she recently discussed how she handles cheaters or
oh,
cheating men. And
mm,
obviously, this is a topic of discussion that is important when her name gets brought up because, as I intimated a couple of minutes ago, people are more interested in her personal life than they are with what she is doing musically or artistically. But that's America these days. What else do you expect? So, to provide some context here, this is a screen share from Hot New Hip Hop. Says Chloe Bailey reveals how she handles cheaters. Chloe Bailey has skyrocketed to superstardom as of late. Overall, she and her sister Hallie have been seeing a lot of success. Presently, Hallie is in a relationship with the rapper DDG. Meanwhile, Bailey has had some high profile flames in the past. However, as it turns out, Chloe has had some issues when it comes to men being unfaithful to her. One would
oh,
think that she would have no issues with that. Yeah,
oh.
right. Shame on you for thinking that. That said, some people just don't know how good they have it. Instead, they step out regardless. While speaking on the Zach Sang show, Bailey spoke at length about cheaters in her life. Overall, she did not mention any of those cheaters by name. Instead, she simply spoke about what she does once someone cheats. Basically, she doesn't give them any leeway.
Mm,
Instead, she immediately cuts them off.
nope.
Ultimately, it is a pretty good strategy. Cheaters typically don't stop cheating after they've already done it once. Not to mention, Bailey gives them a warning at the start of the relationship. So, here is a clip from Bailey's appearance on this Zach Sang show. So we'll let her speak for herself.
Uh,
Yeah,
Sorry that you got cheated on.
it's all right. Been a couple times. I feel like no
Really?
matter how bad of a bitch you are, sometimes niggas will cheat.
Whoa.
You think is it immature?
It's not a you thing, it's a them thing.
Oh, every time.
And like anytime I find out somebody cheats, I move on. And they don't believe me, I'll tell them in the beginning. I'm like, you know, we're imperfect humans, but you cheat on me, I'm out. And they don't believe me till their number's blocked.
That's I don't.
How do you find out they're cheating on you? They just straight up tell you?
God, Instagram,
Mm,
life,
all the above.
them not putting away evidence,
Really?
panties, hair ties,
You found panties.
a
in-
lash extension on the shower floor. That's not mine. And I haven't been wearing lashes for a while. But I kept that to myself. I just waited to just collect more evidence.
Jesus.
Yeah.
How long would you like wait before you would tell someone? How much evidence did you need?
Till they can't deny it. Till I can't be gaslit out of it.
Mm. Shit.
Yeah.
Sorry. Nobody
I'm
deserves
chilling.
that. I know
I'm
you are. You're,
thriving
you're
and
doing
great.
great, but
You know,
Please.
Yeah. No. So it looks like Miss Bailey has a zero tolerance policy there, and she even lets them know when you cheat on me, it's out the door. Hey, 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 we're imperfect humans, but if you do this to me, you're done, sir. Uh, yeah, man. So, what do you think about that, man? Does she have the right idea or what?
Yeah, I mean, I commend her for having that stance. I mean, I don't fault her for it. Protect yourself, right? So if there's somebody out there that claims that they down for you, claim that they, love you or whatever, and they're lying and sneaking behind your back, then yeah, I mean, you deserve to cut that person off. So I don't have a problem with her overall philosophy. The problem that I did have with this was her addressing herself as a bad bitch. Now, yeah, this ties into your last conversation where you was like, "Oh, yeah, man, don't be come out of what's that? Commoditizing,
Commodified.
monetizing the N word because well, people gonna use it, and well, she's calling herself a bad bitch. I don't know how else I'm supposed to address her outside of this. outside of that term, right? But I will be sophisticated here, not petty. But be that as it may, I don't like that term. I don't like anybody who I don't say I don't like the person. I don't like that philosophy. I don't even know what constitute a bad bitch because that's the female equivalent to me of a real nigga.
Yeah,
And
exactly. Yes,
and I
100%.
and
Yeah,
I cannot stand it.
yeah.
So so that's just like anybody, oh, when you were real, and it's like I don't want to hear nothing you have to say now. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say right now because you're this thing. It has very weird standards to it, and the people that subscribe to it tend to subscribe to things that don't serve them. So I don't care for that. And for the guy that's sitting there going, "Oh, what? Somebody cheated on you?" Well, yeah, you wouldn't cheat on Chloe Bailey, but she wouldn't date you.
Right,
The only
right.
men that she dates are the men that would cheat on her.
Ding, 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 ding. Yep.
So I don't feel sorry for her at all because she wouldn't deal with a regular guy, And first of all, ladies, and especially if there's any fans in here, now y'all are average females. I'm not saying that is bad. I'm just saying, you can't say women, but y'all are the everyday woman. You're not a celebrity. You're not in everybody's feed. You're not doing that. That's what I meant by that. All right. So you're an everyday woman. And as an everyday woman, the type of man that you would date, all right, even though you got high standards and all these other good things, but these are close to your lifestyle and you're being realistic. So these types of men that you would date are broke boys in her lifestyle. She wants rapper. She wants CEO. She wants ball player. She wants men that have endless options. So since, men that get DM'd for vagina, those men. So those men will never turn down all of those options for her because she's a dime a dozen once you get up there. So for this whole notion that, man, they would even cheat on Chloe Bailey. See, it ain't no hope out here for us girls. Like, no, you got to understand the caliber of men this woman is dating. She don't live the life as you, so you can't put her in your shoes, So I would just say this to the everyday woman, before you go, look, even the women up top, even the baddest bitches can't even get themselves a loyal man. Pump the brakes. And then ask yourself, what kind of pond is this woman fishing out of? And if the only thing that she's looking to catch are ball players, athletes, rappers, high-level CEOs, all this other stuff, yeah, those are the ones you throw back in the water. Because if you want, loyalty and him not to cheat, you throw that back in the water. Now, if you know what time it is, you go ahead and live with that, right? But if you think that, you're going to be blocking numbers and stuff like that, and all this other stuff because these dudes are cheating, I don't think you're being quite realistic. So how do you feel about this thing, man? Do you think that Chloe Bailey has the right formula here of handling these guys that are doing her wrong? How do you feel about this?
Bro, I don't even know. I don't even have any ammo in my chamber anymore. You just took all my ammo.
Oh man,
I couldn't have said that. I couldn't have said that better myself. I really don't have anything to add to that. I really don't. So when it comes to this whole relationship conversation, I am, unless I'm watching some anti-female red pill incel channel, which I don't. But I would imagine that those are the only types of content that I would be watching to not hear what I'm about to say. I am routinely told that women are smarter than men, that women have better judgment than men. Women should be running things because men, their egos, they can't handle certain things. Women, I am just told overall that women are superior. And within the context of the relationship conversation, I'm often told women are better, smarter. They just have their finger on the pulse of the way things should be much better than men, right? I'm told that all the time. That's what I hear at least. That's the rhetoric going around in all of these conversations with all these relationship podcasts, because there's thousands of them out there now. Everybody has an opinion on relationships, and that's what I hear a lot. Women are just better. Well, last time I checked, someone who is equipped with ample intelligence and good decision making doesn't subject themselves to insanity. Insanity and intelligence are mutually exclusive. Like, you can't be someone who is insane but also pray tell to be someone who is consistently sound in their decision making and their intelligence. Yet women continuously find themselves complaining about men cheating on them. Now, why is that? To your point, I feel as though the reason why these women are talking like this is because they cannot get out of their own way. They cannot help but only consider the exact type of guy who is more likely than not to cheat on them. Why is that insane? Because you keep doing the same thing but trying to get a different result. Now, I don't know Chloe Bailey's dating history like that, but I would imagine it is not all that dissimilar from other women in her position. And I am inclined to agree with you. In her mind, she is thinking to herself, hey, rapper, hey, movie superstar, hey, CEO hedge fund guy, hey, NBA player, hey, NFL player. You guys are the ones that I want, but hey, you can't cheat on me. And that is, of course, an absolutely insane notion, because men who can exercise unlimited options are most likely to cheat on one woman. But that's what you want, and that's what you're attracted to. That's what gets you going. So you're just in this endless loop of insanity and bad decision making, and you can't get out of your own way, which is okay, because as she said in her opening remarks, we are all flawed, we're all human. So hey, y'all are flawed and y'all are human, and you guys have horrible decision making when it comes to men. Just don't rebuke my idea that you are not inherently smarter or superior to men. If anything, we are all prone to making dumbass decisions, making dumbass choices. Men make dumb choices, y'all women make real stupid choices. Because if you really wanted to not get cheated on, you would just date the kind of men who are more likely than not to not cheat on you. And I've spoken at length in previous conversations on this channel about my issues with the use of the word average. And I know that you like clarify what you mean when you use that word, but trust and believe most other people who use the word average are placing a negative connotation on the
Yeah,
word.
yeah.
So when they use the word average, they are actually calling you something that is not worthy of being
Below
dateable.
average.
Yes. When they're using the word average, they are saying you're not tall. And this is for anybody, but women like to use the word average to describe a guy mostly who doesn't make enough money for them, because a lot of times this falls along the lines of income. It's just coded using certain politically correct words like average or below average, whatever. But when they use the word average, they're talking about income, they're talking about height. Some of them are so specific that they want to talk about if you have a beard or tattoos. I've heard women talk like this. So my thing is, you don't want to date average. Average according to the way you use the word, not average in terms of the way it should be used. But you also don't want to get cheated on, where you're going to have to pick one. You're going to have to choose one. Either amend the way that you choose your men or deal with the fact that you will be perpetually cheated on. But you can't have it both ways and want to date men who have all of the options in the world, but then maintain this expectation that you ought not to be cheated on. Now, kudos for her if what she is saying is true, and that she does break up with a guy once she discovers that he's been unfaithful to her. I don't even know if that's true. She could just be saying that for all I know. I don't know her from a can of paint. And you talked about this a lot. A lot of women like to pay lip service to the idea that infidelity is a deal breaker. But when push comes to shove and they weigh their options and evaluate whether they have more to lose by leaving a situation than to stay in it and deal with the cheating, a lot of them will just stay in the situation and deal with it because they perceive leaving it as losing more than what they would gain by leaving. So I don't know if she falls into that boat or not. If I'm taking her at her word and she does leave, kudos to you, miss, for leaving whenever you discover that a guy cheats on you. But I'm willing to bet that your preferences are set to where what you choose with men puts you in a situation in which you are most likely to be cheated on. Period. And when it comes to the rest of these women out here, the women, average, the everyday woman, it's weird because I think that this kind of stuff is having a trickle down effect. And I
Yeah.
think that, and I've mentioned this before, I think that what you are dealing with is um, the mindset becoming so pervasive on a large scale that the everyday woman is now looking at this as this is what my standard is.
Yeah.
And so they're looking for the big fish in whatever city they live in. And those guys within those pocket universes have all the options in the world. So if you live in Houston, New York, if you live in Dallas, wherever you live, if you live in Atlanta, you live in wherever you live, Chicago, whatever city you live in, and you're the everyday woman out there trying to make yourself exclusively available to the men who reside at the top of the food chain in those environments, you're dealing with the same thing. So the mindset is something that is becoming more pervasive. It's no longer endemic to women in the entertainment industry. It's everywhere. So all y'all need to accept responsibility for why you continue to deal with this. If you want to experience different results, open yourselves up to the idea of dating different men. And until you do that, you're going to get the same result. It's no different than the guy who says, I'm dating this kind of woman because I'm tired of these women looking at things this way. Well, have you really maximized what things are like in every area dealing with those types of women so that you know for sure that this is what's going to happen every time? Or are you fishing in the same ponds but trying to get different results? That's what this looks like to me. Um, if what she is saying is true, I commend her for that. Otherwise, I think that she is afflicted with the same sickness that a lot of women today are afflicted with, and they, quite frankly, cannot get out of their own way.
Yeah, I agree, and I do believe her. I think she does cut him off, and this is why I think she's able to cut him off so easily and successfully or whatever. Is because of who she is, and she got options, and she never let her options go. So when bro act up and he acting a fool, it's nothing to get new attention from new dudes because she's Chloe Bailey.
Right.
So immediately, as soon as this guy acts up or does the wrong thing or whatever, she activates her splinter cells. And then she just go ahead and get started with another situation, not missing a beat. If she's always used to hanging out with this dude, she can hang out with the next dude the same evening. As soon as she blocked the guy in the morning, that night she can be hanging out with somebody else, forgetting her worries away. So for a woman like Chloe Bailey, it's easy for her to make this cutoff. So that's why she can talk with so much cash money, is because she lives a different lifestyle than you. Or what I mean, everyday woman. So my thing is just for the everyday woman who's listening to this rhetoric, just be mindful. Now, I'm not telling you to stay with a cheater. I'm just saying she's so bold and she's so brave. It's because everybody got access to her DMs and she's constantly catching new candidates. So if some clown decide to act up, who cares? The next one's rolling in. Now, she don't have to let everybody know that she's dating somebody. I guess that's something, it becomes official or they get caught eating at a restaurant too often with one of her hookups. Now all of a sudden they date her. I don't know how that stuff go. But be that as it may, that's why she's able to talk like this, because she never lets her options go. And she's constantly in a position of always getting new action. So she never talked about her DMs while these guys were air quote cheating. She never talked about the things that she was doing that he would have thought was unsavory before she found any eyelashes. So she's always going to be the victim. She's going to sit there and go, yeah, girl, he did me dirty. I'm Chloe Bailey and I still got cheated on. But she's not going to tell you the little underhand stuff that she was doing as well, I'm sure. It's not like she's being serious. She's still young and in her phase. Girl, you remember when you was her age? So let her keep doing her. She gonna keep doing her. She ain't doing nothing serious. Everything's a situationship at this point for this girl. So that's why she can live her life like that and talk with such cash money, in my opinion. But when life gets more serious, when you're the average everyday person, you know, and life is serious, people hold on to these things and whoop de whoop and all this other stuff. So it's just a thing of these this is everyday people stuff. Everybody deals with this, but the way that she's talking about it, the scenarios and stuff like that, this is reserved to, in my book, for I mean, it's literally celebrity stuff. I mean, it happens in a micro too, but at the same time, these are it's different stakes on the line. So yeah, I just tell the women that are listening to this, just proceed with caution. Just like I mentioned in the first segment, was, hey, the type of guy she's dealing with. You got to see who she's dealing with. And B, in the second segment, the reason why she was so bold and so brave and able to cut it off and block dudes was because she's constantly getting dudes in her DM. So she's got options too. So when two people got heavy options like that, what is loyalty? Somebody sneaking behind somebody back, that's for sure. So yeah, have at it, Miss Bailey. Have at it.
Yeah, I hear all of that. I think that social media and the internet has empowered the everyday woman to exercise this same type of behavior just on a smaller level.
Yeah.
Because everyday women nowadays, with respectively, one can argue that they as well have unlimited options.
Yeah, we getting there.
Because they're getting DM'd and hit up and messaged and given attention constantly on their own social media networks, within their little pocket universe. It's not on a large scale level like celebrities, but within their own little areas, and in their own networks and who they know. Especially girls especially like women who go to college and all of that, and you're exposed to so much different penis. they're getting the same. It's on a scale, right? So it's relative.
You're right.
And I think that, relatively speaking, on their scale, they're getting the same kind of frequent action. And so I think for them, they operate a lot largely in the same capacity. I feel where it's just like, I don't need to. Well, first of all, they deal with guys who are also, relatively speaking, on that level where they're going to be dealing with that same kind of stuff. But also for them, they get so much action themselves that to them it's nothing to like cast one dude aside to just promote the next guy off the roster. We always talk about how women date in a masculine way anyway. They got a roster. So it's about who's the next guy off the bench. They always got them. There's always, I believe most women nowadays, if they are even halfway attractive, have at least 5 guys in rotation, 5 guys who they communicate with on a regular basis. The one who is winning, obviously, is the one who has access to the box. And the other 4 are lying in wait until that guy messes. And the minute that he messes up, the next guy gets promoted off the bench.
The
next guy gets promoted off the bench. So I think, much like you, she has guys on the bench, and she doesn't care because she'll just promote the 6th man to be the new starter. Because that's just the way this stuff works nowadays. If you play the game like that.
Cold world, man. Cold world.
Remember that number is 5. 5. We got 5 in rotation at all times.
Jeez.